Hello, my fellow pod pals, commander connoisseurs, and all-round Magic the Gathering enjoyers. Welcome to Argos MTG, the channel you can count on to find all the newest commanders from every new main and side set. In this episode, we'll be going over the white, blue, and black cards from Marvel superheroes that could take the helm of your next commander deck. I'm Archer.
And I'm Aaron. A quick disclaimer, we'll probably be using nicknames or abbreviations for some of the cards with more unique names. Also, by no means are either of us judges, nor do we claim to be. We both just enjoy talking about this game, so please, if we get any rules, mechanics, or interactions wrong, let us know down in the comments.
With that said, we have three things before we start. Due to this set having a case of main character syndrome, that being there are like way too many legendaries in this set that just don't deserve to be. We've split this review into three parts. Otherwise, we'd end up with like a 7-hour video,
Which we don't want.
No, and neither do you. So with that said, our next thing is with this set, Wizards have added one new card type with plan and two new mechanics. Teamwork, which is a kicker-esque mechanic that asks you to tap creatures with a certain power, so like 2 or greater, to get an additional effect. And Power Up, which is similar to Exhaust from Aether Drift, in which the card comes in with an ability, so like it'll be a creature, and then the ability will be like 5 blue, 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 or something like that. And then it states that you can activate this ability only once, and so obviously if it becomes a new permanent, you can activate it again if you flicker it or whatever. But if it stays on the battlefield, you can only activate it once, and the ability becomes cheaper if you use that ability when it has entered the battlefield, or at least on the same turn as it has entered the battlefield.
Yeah, okay.
So as a quick example, we will be talking about this a bit later, I'm pretty sure, but if the casting cost of the creature is 2 blue blue and the ability would be 4 blue blue, then if you cast the creature on the same turn that you activated the ability, it would just be 2 colors to activate the ability.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. Now, lastly, we will also be doing something new in this episode, or in these videos, due to the large amount of legendaries. We'll be doing a speed run of sorts at the start of each of the colors, and this is what all the colors will start with. That will briefly go over any card that we've deemed too straightforward, like obvious build-arounds, like this doubles damage, this gives you an extra turn with the power ability, or like just like other cards that are just like maybe like too obviously strong, but like also really simple.
Yeah.
It's we're doing this basically just to speed up the videos because there are, I believe, 362 362 legendary creatures in this set, which again, main character syndrome is ridiculous. So yeah, cards that are too straightforward, or the ones that suffer from MCS. MCS, the disease that UB suffers from.
Oh yeah.
We'll show the card on screen, but basically the MCS cards are things like Happy Hogan and some others that are slightly more complicated, but they just have keywords on them. Yeah. It's basically just a card with no other text on it besides it being legendary. Yep. With all that finally out of the way, let's meet the newest legends from Marvel superheroes, starting with our white cards. Agent 13, Sharon Carter, 2 and a white for a legendary creature, human spy hero, with that's a 3/2 with whenever a creature you control attacks alone, investigate. Then Agent Maria Hill, 1 white, 2/1 legendary creature, human spy hero. Whenever Agent Maria Hill becomes tapped to pay a teamwork cost, put a 1/1 counter on her and draw a card. Agent Phil Coulson is 1 and a white for a legendary creature, human spy hero, with that's a 2/2 with vigilance. Tap, put a 1/1 counter on each other hero you control. Amazing Spider Girl, 3 white for a 5/4 legendary creature, spider human hero with web slinging, 2 and a white. quick reminder for web slinging. You may cast this spell for 2 and a white. If you also return a tapped creature you control to its owner's hands, it has this card also has flying and vigilance. Next card is Ant-Man, Scout Lang. For 1 and a white for a 2/2 legendary creature, human hero. You pay 4 generic and put a 1/1 counter on Ant-Man. Next is Black Panther, Claws of Bast. 2 and a white for a 3/3 legendary creature, human warrior hero with lifelink. And whenever a creature you control attacks alone, put a 1/1 counter on it. Then we have Bucky Barnes, Eager Ally, 1 and a white for a 2/2 legendary creature, human soldier hero with vigilance. When Bucky Barnes dies, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal an equipment, hero, or soldier card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Then we have Captain America, Steve Rogers, 3 white for a 4/4 legendary creature, human soldier hero with lifelink. Whenever Captain America attacks, put a 1/1 counter on another target creature you control. That creature gains indestructible until end of turn. Next we have Captain America Super Soldier, 1 white for a 3/2 legendary creature, human soldier hero with first strike. Captain America enters with a shield counter on him. As long as Captain America has a shield counter on him, you and other heroes you control have hexproof. Then we have Captain America Unbound. Unbound? Yes.
Bowed.
Unbowed. Okay.
Yeah.
3 and a white for a 3/4 legendary creature, human soldier hero with flash. When Captain America enters, soldiers and heroes you control gain indestructible until end of turn. Then we have Captain Marvel, Earth's Protector, 3 white for a legendary creature, human Kree hero, which is a 5/4 with flash, flying, and lifelink. This has the new power-up ability, which is 5 white, put a 1/1 counter and an indestructible counter on Captain Marvel. Quick reminder, this is one of the power abilities, so if it entered this turn, it would also just cost 2 generic mana to use the power ability straight away. Next, we have Colleen, Wing Street Samurai, 1 and a white for a 2/2 legendary creature, human samurai hero. Whenever you cast a spell that targets a creature you control, put a 1/1 counter on Colleen, Wing, and Scry 1. Next is Dr. Spectrum, 3 white for a 3/3 legendary creature, human hero with flying. Whenever Dr. Spectrum enters, choose 1. Create a 0/4 colorless wall creature token with Defender, put a 1/1 counter on each other hero you control, or destroy target enchantment. Then we have Donald Blake, Guise of Thor, 1 and a white for a 1/3 legendary creature, human doctor with lifelink. Power up for white, put 2 1/1 counters on a flying. Put 2 1/1 counters and a flying counter on Donald Blake. He becomes a god warrior hero. Then we have Falcon, Joe Quinn.
Jokin? I have no idea.
Yeah, Falcon, 2 and a white for a 2/2 legendary creature, bird, human hero with flying and lifelink. He has Battalion, so whenever Falcon and at least 2 other creatures attack, put a 1/1 count on him and scry 1. Then we have Foggy Nelson on Retainer, 2 and a white for a 1/3 legendary creature, human advisor with flash. Whenever Foggy Nelson enters, put a 1/1 counter on another target creature you control. It gains hexproof until end of turn. General Thunderbolt Ross, 1 white for a 1/1 legendary creature, human soldier with first strike. Also Battalion, whenever a General Thunderbolt Ross and at least 2 other creatures attacking creatures get +1/+0 until end of turn. Then we have Hawkeye Bowslinger, 2 and a white for a 3/3 legendary creature, human archer hero, reach and vigilance. Whenever you cast a spell that targets a creature, put a 1/1 counter on Hawkeye, scry 1. Then we have Hawkeye, Clint Barton, 3 and a white for a 3/5 legendary creature, human archer hero with vigilance. Then we have Invisible Woman, Sue Storm, 4 and a white for a legendary creature, human hero, 2/5, legendary creature, human hero with lifelink. Whenever you put a one or more 1/1 counters on 1 or more other heroes you control, you may create a 0/4 colorless wall creature token with Defender. I'll quickly mention Although I'm sure you all probably have seen it all over social media already. Sue and the other three of the Incredible Four, uh, they go infinite with each other. We are not going to bring this up with any of the other cards because they're all not fantastic by themselves, but are fine in one of those 4 to 5 color decks.
Yeah, okay.
Next, we have Luke Cage, Power Man. 3 and a white for a 2/5 legendary creature human hero with Unbreakable Skin. Whenever Luke Cage attacks alone, he gets +2/+0 and gains indestructible until end of turn. Then we have Matt Murdock to Justice Seeker, 1 and a white for a 2/2 legendary creature human advisor. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may pay 1. When you do, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. Each creature you control with a counter on it has Ward 1. This is mainly in here just because it's way better in the 99.
Yeah.
Next, we have Mockingbird, Ace Agent, 3 and a white for a legendary creature, human spy hero. Double strike whenever you cast. 2/2. Double strike whenever you cast a spell that targets a creature you control, put a 1/1 counter on Mockingbird. Mockingbird, Bobby Morse. 3 and a white for a 3/3 legendary creature, human hero. Whenever Mockingbird is dealt damage, put a 1/1 counter on her. Nighthawk, Dark Defender. 1 and a white for a 2/1 legendary creature, human hero. With flying, whenever Nighthawk or another hero you control enters, target creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Night Nurse, Healer of Heroes, 1 and a white for a 2/1 legendary creature, human doctor hero with flash, lifelink, and when Night Nurse enters, choose target permanent card in your graveyard that was put there from anywhere this turn, return it to your hand. Oki, yeah. Dora Milaje leader? Or something like that. 3 and a white for a 3/2 legendary creature, human warrior hero. When they enter, create 2/1/1 white soldier creature tokens. Attacking creature tokens you control have first strike. Patriot Shield Wielder for 1 and a white 2/2 legendary creature, human hero. 2 tap another target attacking creature you control gets +2/+0 and gains hexproof until end of turn. Peggy Carter, Secret Agent, 1 and a white for a 2/1 legendary creature, human spy hero. Whenever a creature you control attacks alone, it gains indestructible until end of turn. Photon Lady of Light, 3 and a white for a 3/3 legendary creature, human hero with flying. Whenever Photon attacks, exile up to one other target creature you control, then return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control. Quake, Agent of Shield, 2 and a white for a 3/3 legendary creature, Inhuman Spy Hero. Seismic Takedown, whenever you cast a non-creature spell, tap target creature or land. Queen Mother Ramada, 3 white for a 3/5 legendary creature, human noble. When Queen Mother Ramada enters, you become the monarch. As long as you're the monarch, creatures with power 2 or less can't attack you. Red Guardian Super Soldier, 2 and a white for a 2/2 legendary creature, human soldier villain with flash. When Red Guardian enters, destroy target creature and opponent controls that dealt damage this turn. The Falcon, Sam Wilson, 4 and a white for a 3/3 legendary creature, human hero with flying. When the Falcon enters, put a 1/1 counter on each other creature you control. The Howling Commandos, 1 and a white for a 3/1 legendary creature, human soldier hero. Pay 5 creatures you control, get +1/+1 until end of turn. Soldiers you control gain vigilance until end of turn. The Wasp, Janet Van Dyne, 2 and a white for a 1/1 legendary creature, human hero with flying. And when the Wasp enters, she deals 4 damage to target tapped creature and opponent controls. White Widow, Free Agent, 3 and a white for a 2/3 legendary creature, human hero villain. When White Widow enters, choose 1, put a 1/1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures, or return target artifact or enchantment card from your graveyard to your hand. Winter Soldier, Bucky Barnes. 1 white for a 2/2 legendary creature, human soldier hero. Winter Soldier enters tapped. Sad. Zada, the Power Princess. 3 and a white for a 2/4 legendary creature, human warrior. Oh my god. Warrior hero. With flying, other heroes you control have Exalted. Reminder for Exalted, whenever a creature you control attacks alone, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn for each instance of Exalted among permanents you control. Okay.
That was a lot. Like,
yeah, that was a lot. Some of those cards, like we said in the intro, are put there just for their simplicity, or like they're just like a simple deck that we'll have a couple of cards that do the similar thing, but like it's just commander damage, it's just this, it's just that.
yeah.
Which, by all means, build the deck around these cards, but they're not as exciting to just talk
we
about.
didn't think they were worth talking about at all.
Yeah.
Like, some of them are good.
Yeah.
They work. But
yeah.
yeah.
And I mean, I probably should have been saying this as well, and I will for the rest of the episode and for the other parts. But a lot of these, you can't just get them from commander decks or just from the like normal product.
Yeah.
So there's I think 4 or 5 different places you can get some of these cards. So there's Jumpstart, Welcome Decks, the normal product, Jumpstart, Welcome Decks, Beginner Box, and
Hero scenes.
the hero scene boxes, and then just the normal product.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff from Jumpstart and the Commander decks can also be found in collector boosters.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. So we will continue with our white cards now. Now that we're getting to the more fun white cards.
The ones we can actually talk about.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is Black Panther, Most Dangerous. 2 and a white for a 3/3 legendary creature, human warrior hero. Whenever Black Panther is dealt damage, he deals that much damage to any other target. He has power up 5 white. Put 2/1/1 counters on Black Panther. Other creatures you control get +2/+2 until end of turn. This card is also from the Jumpstart product. So his power ability is interesting. It makes it not interesting. It's interesting in the sense where most of the sorry.
Pardon me.
Yes, I'm unfortunately a bit sick today. Most of the power abilities incentivize you to more so use them like straight away because of the cost reduction. But his power up ability, giving everything else +2/+2, kind of wants you to wait until you've built a bigger board.
Yeah.
Which is kind of interesting. I mean, so it's a 3 cost reduction, so it would be 3 and a white to activate it. So 4 mana instead of 7.
7.
So like to get the 2/+1/+1 counters on him, it might be more worth it, but who knows?
I mean, yeah. And if
Yeah.
he does die, so you say you play him as your commander, you take him out, and you use him with the power up, that's still pretty expensive for a 1-turn go.
Yeah.
And then if you use him again, you gotta add the commander tax on top of it, so it's 4 mana just to play him.
Yeah, and as far as I know, so activate each power ability only once. Yeah, reduce the cost by his mana cost if he entered this turn. I'm pretty sure when it refers to his mana cost, it isn't including commander tax.
Oh, it's not including tax? Yeah. Okay.
So it's not like it will be reduced more if you if he casts later, but I'm not 100% sure on that, so please look up, check with judges and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I
I would assume it's not.
Yeah. Otherwise, this is like all the power abilities are like significantly better when they're tagged onto commanders.
Yeah.
At the very least, then like up to a certain point, it's not the power up ability is not like getting worse later in the game when your commander's been removed.
Yeah.
But as is, yeah, it's a bit worse. And then his first ability, obviously, whenever Black Panther is dealt damage, he deals that much damage to any other target. So yeah, when he's been blocked, he'll hit other people. This is why the 2-1-1 counters they don't really matter, because if you're building the deck around that, you're planning to give him like indestructible and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
you're planning to make him.
Just like any other like stuffy doll esque effects where like he gets hit or like something gets hit and then they deal the damage to something else.
Yeah.
The only like fun thing that I can see with this at the moment is because it says he deals that much damage to any other target. If you give him lifelink or death touch, he does. So you will gain that life when he hits someone else, or if you're targeting like another creature and he has death touch, it won't really matter how big they are; they'll just die. So like that's another cool thing, but I think we will.
Yeah, I think that's.
Move on to our next card, which is Black Widow, Intel Expert, 2 and a white for a 3/3 legendary creature, human spy hero, with first strike. Whenever Black Widow deals combat damage to an opponent, you and that player each draw 2 cards. They are from the Heroes United scene box. This one honestly probably could have gone on the skip list because it's fairly simple.
It's fairly simple
but
and straightforward.
It's a kind of like interesting, probably more so in the 99 commander than the commander deck.
Yeah.
But as like a political card, like yeah, let me hit you and then we'll draw cards kind of thing. It's fairly simple, but I just kind of wanted to mention.
Yeah, it's fair enough.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll move on to our next card. Being Captain America Liberator, 3 white for a 5/5 legendary creature, human soldier hero. When Captain America enters, you may search your library for an equipment card with mana value 3 or less, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. Whenever Captain America attacks, for each equipment attached to him, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token.
So you quite clearly want to be doing equipment heavy decks.
Oh yeah, I mean yeah, obviously. We should quickly mention this is from Jumpstart.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so him being able to go search for a 3 mana value or less equipment is cool. It puts it directly onto the battlefield, which is fantastic. I would say it's cheating mana cost. I mean it is, but like it's only a 3 mana value thing, but that's still pretty good. I mean
that's a lot of your equipment.
Casting it on turn 5, casting Captain America on turn 3, 4, or 5, and then just getting up to put a free equipment onto the battlefield is still pretty good.
Yeah. And
then he does this cool thing where like he'll give you like, it doesn't really matter. Like obviously with this you want to be going for like commander damage and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the fact that he makes more bodies does remove one of the main problems with equipment decks, being that if the thing that you put all your equipment on gets blown up, you don't have anything else to put the equipment on.
Yeah, you're kind of just stuck.
Which, can just screw you. But if Captain America is suited up with, like, all these cool equipment, then at least you get, like, an additional body. Yeah. That you might be able to put that equipment on later.
That being said, again, he can be both Commander and 99.
Yeah, I think
putting him in a Boris.
Yeah, I mean Boris is the like standard.
Yeah,
I think you could probably do both. But yeah, it's probably find it more preferable in the 99 than as the Commander. Our next card is Captain America Skybound.
Another one.
Yeah. 3 white for a 3/5 legendary creature, human soldier hero, with flying, vigilance, and battalion. Whenever Captain America and at least 2 other creatures attack, put a 1/1 counter on each attacking creature. They gain indestructible until on the turn. This is from Jumpstart. So at least 2 other creatures, that's fine. It puts a 1/1 counter on all of those creatures, which is a good thing. So your whole board gets bigger. That immediately says to me like tokens and stuff. But just like any general, like maybe like a flyers deck or stuff like that. But the main reason this was here and not on the skip pile is the fact that they all gain indestructible.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if you're attacking with like a bunch of small dinky things. The fact that they get bigger and they are all gain indestructible, minus obviously this Captain America, is a really cool ability. That means you don't need to worry about like if you built this deck as a vigilance deck, then you just wouldn't have to care. Like every combat would be a combat that you'd be fine attacking everyone. Like you attack, your things don't tap, and they get indestructible, so you don't even have to care if they have bigger creatures, and your stuff gets bigger. Like it'd be a pretty good deck, all things considered.
I mean, it pretty much goes without being said, but you could also use it with the last Captain America that makes the 1/1s.
Yeah,
just dink away at people.
Yeah, 100%. We will move on to our next Captain America.
God, another one.
This is another. I don't want to say. I mean, it is for us, but like a problem for this set where like they've wanted to include so many versions of these characters in different stages of their like careers as heroes and like other like movies and stuff like that, where there are like so many versions, and there's like common ones, there's uncommon ones, there's mythics, there's rares. Obviously it's more so with the main characters, but like even, and we'll go past this on some of the other parts, but like I'm pretty sure there's 2 different versions of Happy, where it's like and they're both like
what
common / uncommons. It's like this wasn't really needed, but anyway, we'll keep going with this card. So Captain America, Wings of Freedom, 2 and a white for a 3/1 legendary creature, human soldier hero, with flying and first strike and ward 1. Whenever Captain America attacks, each other hero you control gets +X until end of turn, where X is Captain America's toughness, which is a bit weird, considering he's a 3/1. So you're wanting to find like more unique. This is again one of those cards where it's like it just made the non-skip list, where it's like okay, cool. It's one of those standard cards where you're buffing all your heroes. So obviously this is a deck where you want to put in a lot of heroes, which I'm sure we'll be getting more of as time goes past. And the fact that it's going off his like I said before, the fact that it's going off his toughness is a bit of an interesting one.
That's the weird one.
But I think that also is the reason we didn't put it on the skip list, because it's more of a unique build around, like having ways to just buff his toughness. Like there are some equipment, there are some spells that just care about toughness. And because those spells just care about toughness, they can usually buff the toughness by like more than the cards that would buff the power, because usually the toughness doesn't matter. So like I know there's like certain instances and sorceries that like until end of turn, like I think one of them gives like +0/+10. Jeez. In which case all your heroes will get +10/+10 until end of turn. So
that's game end.
Yeah, that's like terrifying. And I think that's only like a 2 mana spell. So like there's just like some fun dinky things you can find to put in this deck. Let's move on to our next card with Captain Marvel Spaceborne. 4 and a white for a 4/4 legendary creature, Kree soldier hero with flying and vigilance. Cosmic awareness. As long as an opponent has cast a spell this turn, you may cast spells as though they had flash. This is from the Avengers Assemble Commander deck, as well as I'm pretty sure the just regular set.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
You said Captain. I thought you were going to say Captain.
Yeah,
I was scared.
This was on our skip list, but we took it off. There are a couple effects similar to this that I've added just because I think it's neat, where unlike it caring about your spells or your opponent's spells, it cares about, well, I mean, this one cares about your opponent's spells, but like some of them care about just spells being cast in general. But as long as an opponent has cast a spell this turn, giving your stuff flash is just like a unique thing in white.
Yeah.
And I can see people wanting to build like a fun kind of junky flash deck in white just built around this one effect.
Yeah.
And like, you might be like, oh, well, you know, I have to rely on my opponent. It's like, what, you have to rely on your opponent playing the game?
Yeah, like they literally have to play.
Like, okay, if they're also a flash deck, then they have to wait until a certain point to cast their stuff as well. So, like, I think this could be like an interesting, an interesting card.
Yeah.
We'll move on to Captain Marvel, Shooting Star, 5 white for a 6/6 legendary creature, human Kree hero with flying. Whenever Captain Marvel enters or attacks, exile up to one target creature. That creature's controller gains life equal to its power. Whenever a creature other than Captain Marvel is exiled from the battlefield, you gain life equal to its power. I think this is kind of neat. It's also, sorry, I'll quickly mention from Jumpstart.
Jumpstart. Yeah.
Yeah, I always have to mention where you get these cards from, because especially with this set, you just don't know. If you finish this video and you're like, oh, I can't wait to crack packs to find this, if you're not just buying singles, which obviously is the better way if you're trying to find a specific card.
Yeah.
But you're trying to open packs to find a specific card, and you're like, oh, I've opened so many packs and I haven't found it. It is part of, especially with this channel, our responsibility to let you guys know where to find these cards.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, I think this is really neat. So enters or attacks is really strong, especially with the I can't remember if it's swords or path effect, where you exile a creature and they get to gain life equal to its power.
Yeah.
Which is really strong because it's removal on a stick. I mean, it is 7 mana, which is
crazy,
ridiculous in mono white, but also it's a fairly strong ability, all things considered.
I mean, it is pretty strong.
Yeah, and
That's like,
I think that we mainly put out of this for the second ability, whenever a creature other than Captain Marvel is exiled from the battlefield. So, like, if you can find other cards that specifically say, like, exile a card, like, it doesn't have to, I don't think it necessarily has to be put into exile, because I think otherwise it would say whenever another card is put into exile. It just says is exiled, so, like, in mono white, that can be a lot of flicker effects as well.
yeah, I was gonna say white's pretty good at that with flickering and stuff. Because the flickering is exiled and comes back on.
Yeah. So it should trigger the Captain Marvel's second ability. So yeah, I think this would be like an interesting flicker life gain deck.
Yeah,
where you're trying to find value as well as just accidentally gaining life along the way.
Which is always fun.
Yeah, we'll move on to Dr. Jane Foster, 3 and a white for a 2/3 legendary creature, human doctor. From the when Dr. Jane Foster enters, return target creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to your hand. If you gain life this turn, return that card to the battlefield instead. This is from Jumpstart and the Welcome decks.
Did you say vigilance? I didn't hear that part. I think I zoned out. Anyway, it has vigilance.
Vigilance, yeah. So yeah, when it enters, you return target creature with mana value 3 or less, which is interesting. From your graveyard to your hand, which is it's fine.
Yeah.
And then, but we probably wouldn't be talking about if that was it. If you gain life this turn, return that card to the battlefield instead is the main reason.
That's the good thing.
Yeah. So it just completely cheats on mana cost. It is an enters and not just an enters and attacks trigger, which is a bit of a shame.
It's kind of annoying,
but I mean, it's in white. You have ways of flickering it. I think this is more so of a 99.
I think 99 out of this
as we've mentioned in nearly all the episodes, this will probably go in my Delny deck.
And he's back.
It's a flicker deck. So you can use this for a lot of value. It's got power 2, so you get double triggers. That deck also tends to gain a lot of life with all the Soul Sisters and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, there are definitely places for this type of card. We'll move on to Doctor Strange Surgeon, 4 and a white for a 2/5 legendary creature, human doctor hero with lifelink. If you would gain life, you gain twice that much life instead. At the beginning of each combat, if you have gained at least 10 life more than your starting life total, if you have at least 10 life, more than your
Yeah.
starting life total, creatures that you control get +2/+2 and gain a vigilance until end of turn. Which, yeah, it seems...
That's interesting.
I
Good
think-
life gain.
Yeah, it's interesting that they give you this doubling effect, and we'll see this in some of the other colors with some slightly different effects.
Yeah.
But they've given us like these kind of doubling effects, or like an additional 1/1 counter effects in the command zone now. Which, if you're into that kind of stuff, is really neat to build around.
Yeah.
Also, it like having like a passive, everything gets bigger in vigilance if you have like a lot of life is also a pretty good way to give you a way to end the game if you're not
Yeah.
planning to abuse like the amount of life you've gained for other reasons, like the gun,
The gun.
aka Aether Flux Reservoir.
Yeah, that one.
But yeah, so,
I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah,
'cause,
definitely.
I mean, getting life is always good, especially in white. White and green do it pretty well.
Yeah,
I'm thinking of ways you could use this. Again, it could be a commander, don't get me wrong, but I think again I feel like maybe more of a 99, but having a gain that much life you gain twice instead
yeah.
is really good in the command zone. So I don't know, cuz you can just
Yeah, I mean, I think it's good basically wherever you put it.
Yeah.
So let us move on to Everett K. Ross Hapless Tachi.
I'm going to say Atachi.
Yeah, sure. 2 and a white for a 1/3 legendary creature, human advisor. Commander creatures you control get +1/+1 and have lifelink. Whenever an opponent attacks you with 2 or more creatures, draw a card. Yeah, so this is like a kind of political-y Pillow 40 deck. Oh, sorry. Keep forgetting. This is from the Wakanda Forever Commander deck. Okay. So, yeah, it's like a politically Pillow 40-esque
Yeah.
card. The strength... One of the reasons we included this is there's a couple of cards from the Commander decks that are legendaries because of the MCS
Yeah.
that care about... That usually wouldn't be legendaries, but because of it are.
Yeah.
That say Commander creatures you control. And since it doesn't refer to other, and this can be your commander, it does just passively give itself +1/+1 and lifelink. So
Yeah.
it's more so read as it's a 2/4 with lifelink.
Yeah.
Which is like meh.
It-
But yeah, again, the other part of text is also kind of like whatever, but like you can run it as a commander, and I think it's fine in the 99.
I personally
It's
would
definitely
put it in
it's
the
definitely
99.
better in the 99. But yeah, it's still a fairly interesting
card.
Next, we'll have Falcon and Redwing. 2 and a white for a 1/2 legendary creature, human bird hero. With flying, whenever Falcon and Redwing deal combat damage to a player, create that many 1/1 white bird creature tokens with flying, then put a 1/1 counter on Falcon and Redwing. This is from the Avengers Assemble precon. Yeah, so I mean, this is a kind of fairly normal commander damagey deck, but you just get the bonus of having a shit ton of birds with you.
Yeah. Birds.
Yeah.
Love birds.
You make it big either through equipment or instants and sorceries, and then you make that many birds equal to how hard you hit the person,
No.
which is like, it's not like overly unique and special, but it is just kind of neat.
Kind of just keeps getting stronger and stronger and stronger.
Yeah, and like,
like-
as you're like knocking people out, you're just making more and more birds, which you can do whatever you want.
Pretty much
with.
you become more and more of a pain in the ass along he's
Yeah.
alive.
Definitely. Next we have Hercules, Olympian hero. 3 white for a 3/3 legendary creature, demigod warrior hero. With whenever Hercules attacks, put a 1/1 counter on him. He gains indestructible until end of turn. Whenever Hercules is dealt damage, for the first time each turn, put that many 1/1 counters on him. This is also from the Avengers Assemble precon.
Okay, so he's an indestructible creature that gets bigger every turn and then bigger again when you block him.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say he is an indestructible creature because he is only indestructible on the second half of
The
your
second
turn
half of the turn,
after you
yeah.
attack. But yeah, him getting bigger when he having an attack trigger that makes him bigger and gives him indestructible, so he doesn't just die when he attacks, is
Yeah.
really good. It's, in my opinion, a tiny bit of a shame he's not in red as well, because then you could abuse like bolts and other things to ping him, and then dealing and then making him bigger equal to that damage, as we've seen with some cards in like previous UB sets.
Yeah. Because white doesn't do a whole lot of.
But yeah, it's like his second ability is like incentivizing people not to block it, otherwise he just gets
big.
Stupidly big.
Yeah.
I think it's a cool card, but also it's just like a standard strategy for commander damage.
Yeah, it's just standard.
Yeah. We'll move on to Hyperion, Supreme Hero, for white, for a 7/7 legendary creature, Eternal Hero, with flash and flying. If a source would deal damage to you or a hero you control, prevent all but one of that damage. This is from the Jumpstart set.
So protection spell.
So protection slash the same kind of thing we've been talking about with some of the other cards, where like it makes your attacks better, unless something has double strike or they like have some other source or way to deal damage afterwards, then this doesn't really do anything. Or their stuff doesn't really do anything, I mean. It's like a weird like semi-indestructible.
Okay.
It's neat. I don't necessarily know if it's like, I'm sure there's some like weird janky stuff that you could do with it. Nothing coming top of my head anyway. But I think it's probably just too expensive.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a cool effect, so that's why I wanted to talk about it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Moving on, we have Nick Fury, Spymaster. 4 and a white for a 4/4 legendary creature, human spy hero, with first strike. Whenever a creature you control attacks alone, draw a card. Then you may put a creature card with mana value 3 or less from your hand onto the battlefield. If it enters tapped and it enters tapped and attacking, and gains indestructible until end of turn. This is from Jumpstart.
It gives you solid advantage in again attacking.
Yeah, so it's card advantage for creatures that attack alone, which we have put some of the cards that specifically say when this attacks alone or like specifically like melee abilities and stuff into the skep pile, because usually speaking, unless you're like a commander damage strategy, you don't really want to just be swinging one creature every turn.
Usually only swinging a lot.
Yeah, or at least
two. Yeah.
Usually, even if you're not like a damage strategy. But yeah, it having extra draw in the command zone is nice, and then being able to cheat a mana value 3 or less card from your hand onto the battlefield. And then it getting indestructible and being able to hit someone else is pretty nice as well.
It's pretty solid.
Yeah,
you can't really complain about any of the effects that it gives you.
Yeah, no, it's just like a solid card. Yeah. I think this can go in both the command zone or the 9/9. Yeah, definitely. Let's move on to the Sentry, Golden Guardian. 3 and a white for a 5/5 legendary creature, human hero, with flying, vigilance, and indestructible. When the Sentry enters, target opponent creates the Void, a legendary 5/5 black horror villain creature token with flying, indestructible, and the Void attacks each combat if able. I haven't actually mentioned this before, which I probably should have. If I don't say what set it's from, it's just from the base set. It's just from the MCH or Marvel Superheroes set.
Yeah, MSH.
Cool. So giving someone a Void.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's not overly amazing. I mean, you get a flying vigilance indestructible, which is cool. So it'll always be able to block the Void. Because of the vigilance.
Yeah.
and basically, like, I don't know, the void just like hits other people. I think if you're trying to build this deck in a more unique way, you might want to like think of this like goad-esque strategy
Yeah.
where you get a bunch of auras, and after you make the void, you give the void like a bunch of auras and stuff and make it hit your opponents. I mean, they can attack you with it, but as long as you don't give it trample, then that doesn't, or trample or menace or any other evasion, it doesn't really matter. So if you're just making the void like stupidly big, then like
Whatever.
it can attack. If they decide to attack other people, then like that's just only helping you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can kind of see this as like an interesting kind of aura-y, like suited up deck.
I was confused by the line of text
Oh yeah.
when until you mentioned that. I was like, why would you want to be giving so? But then it's like, yeah, go.
Yeah, although obviously giving someone else something else is like our downside. Obviously, yours being vigilant and as well as indestructible, which the void is as well, is just more of an upside. So you can always hit the person with the void, but the void, as long as this is on the battlefield, can't always hit you.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Fair enough.
We will move forward to a Winter Soldier Reborn Avenger. 4 and a white for a 3/5 legendary creature, human soldier hero, with whenever Winter Soldier attacks, return target creature card with mana value less than or equal to Winter Soldier's power from your graveyard to the battlefield. If a hero enters this way, it enters with an additional 1/1 counter on it. This is from the Avengers Assemble precon. Make him big and then get stuff back from your graveyard. It's pretty simple. You probably want to be putting some heroes in there if you want to utilize that second part of the his ability, that if a hero enters this way, it enters with an additional 1/1 counter. But generally speaking, you're just going to be making him big before he attacks with, instant sorceries, equipment, stuff we've been talking about before, and then just swinging in and getting something big back.
I unfortunately immediately thought 99 of a recursion deck.
Yeah, it's probably in like an Orzhov self-mill recursion deck, where like, sure, at base you can get back a 3 power thing, but like if you're making him bigger, but some way to, I mean, it is an interesting like kind of doing the like mono black reanimating thing.
Yeah.
But in white, so like if you are doing this as your commander in mono white, then you have like the ways to make him big, and then I guess your way of getting rid of things is using like the altars and stuff to sack creatures you've already played for value, and then getting one of them back when you attack, which is kind of neat. A bit slow, but it is. It is
kind of neat. It's like slow because it's just one per turn, but
yeah. I mean, there are definitely ways to make it multiple a turn, but they're generally a bit harder to do.
Yeah, I was talking about base value.
Like, I mean, this would be kind of sick with like Helm of the Host, which gives Helm of the Host attacks, you make a copy of the creature with Helm of the Host on it.
Yeah.
And or is it might be when you go to combat. Either way, you make a permanent copy of the legendary creature.
Yeah.
So yeah, cool. That is all our white cards. So now we're moving on to our speedrun / skips of all the blue cards. We'll do this for the rest of the parts and the rest of the episodes. And maybe even just moving forward throughout all of our videos, because I've just realized this while going through. Unless for some reason something changes, I am not going to say legendary creature anymore. Just because it's some extra words that don't need to be said. Unless it's like a planeswalker or something, or a vehicle in some cases. Or spacecraft, or whatever else they end up adding. These are all legendary creatures. So unless I state otherwise, just when I say legendary, when I say like, the name, the power, and then human scientist, hero, or whatever the hell it is. Just assume I also say legendary creature, because all of these things in all of our videos are legendary creatures.
Yeah, I mean
Cool.
they have to be.
With that being said, deep breath in, and let's go. Blue Marvel Adam Brasher. Brasher? Yeah.
Yeah.
3 blue for a 3/5 human scientist hero with flying, ward 2, and whenever you draw your second card each turn, put a 1/1 counter on Blue Marvel. He does the commander damage thing.
Yep.
Echo Perceptive Prodigy, 2 and a blue for a 1/4 human hero with vigilance. Pay 1, tap, copy target, activated or triggered ability you control from a creature source. You may choose new targets for the copy. Cool. Better than 99 though.
Yeah.
Falcon Winged Wonder, 4 and a white for a 3/4 human hero with flying. Whenever Falcon enters, sorry, create Red Wing, a legendary 1/1 blue bird scout creature token with flying, and whenever Red Wing attacks, surveil 1. Graviton Fundamental Force, 2 and a blue for a 3/3 human villain. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, choose 1. Target creature gains flying until end of turn, or tap target creature. Happy Hogan Bodyguard, 5 and a blue for a 3/3 human advisor. Vigilance, whenever Happy Hogan enters, the owner of target creature an opponent controls puts it into their library second from the top or on the bottom. Impossible Man, 2 and a blue for a 1/4 alien shapeshifter with flying. 2 and a blue, Impossible Man becomes a copy of another target permanent until end of turn, except his name is Impossible Man. Iron Lad, Diverging Destiny, 2 and a blue for a 2/2 legendary artifact creature. Human hero, flying, vigilance. You may look at the top card of your library anytime. Tap, reveal the top card of your library. If it's an artifact card, draw a card. Iron Man Futurist Paragon, 4 blue for a 5/5 legendary artifact creature human hero with flying. At the beginning of combat on your turn, target artifact or legendary artifact creature human hero. Flying at the beginning of combat on your turn, target artifact or creature becomes an artifact creature with base power and toughness 5/5 and gains flying. Jarvis, Earth's Mightiest Butler, 2 and a blue for a 1/4 human advisor. Whenever you cast a hero spell, draw a card. Justice, Vance Astrovic, 2 and a blue for a 2/2 mutant hero flying. When Justice enters, return up to 1 target non-land, non-token permanent to its owner's hand. Whenever another non-land permanent you control is returned to its owner's hand, put a 1/1 counter on Justice. Kang the Conqueror, 2 blue for a 4/5 human villain with flying and power up. 5 blue, put a 1/1 counter on Kang, take an extra turn after this one. During that turn, power abilities can't be activated. Really strong, but it's just strong. That's it. Also, extra turns are kind of frowned upon in Commander, so
I mean, yes.
whatever. Yeah. Kid Loki, 1 blue, 1/1. God, hero, villain. Each creature you control that you've put 1 or more 1/1 counters on this turn has hexproof. When you draw your second card each turn, put a 1/1 counter on Kid Loki. Loki, God of Mischief, 1 and a blue for a 2/1 God Sorcerer Villain. Whenever a player or opponent becomes the target of a spell or ability you control, draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn. Would have been a really good card, but the ability triggers only once each turn thing kind of put a damper on that. Mr. Fantastic, Reed Richards, 3 and a blue for a 2/4 human scientist hero. With reach, whenever 1 or more tokens you control enter, you may draw a card. Namora, the Sea Queen, mutant, a 2/3 mutant merfolk hero with flying, power up 5 and a blue. Put a 1/1 counter on Namora. Create 2 1/1 blue merfolk creature tokens. Pharaoh?
Yeah, Pharaoh Rattata.
Pharaoh Rattata, 4 and a blue for a 4/4. Human Noble Villain with Ward 2. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, Pharaoh Matat Knives. Professor Hulk for blue for a 6/6 Gamma Scientist hero with Trample. Whenever Professor Hulk deals combat damage to a player, draw that many cards. Again, really good card, but really simple. Making big hit commander damage, draw a bunch of cards. Rescue Pepper Potts. 1 and a blue for a 2/1 legendary artifact creature, human hero, with flash and flying. When rescue enters, return up to one other target artifact or creature you control to its owner's hand. If it was an artifact, put a 1/1 counter on rescue. Stature Size Shifter. 1 blue for a 1/1 human hero. Stature can't be blocked if a power is 1 or less. Power up X blue, put X 1/1 counters on stature. The Wasp Winsome Avenger. 1 and a blue for a 2/1 legendary creature, human hero, with flash. Flying, when the Wasp enters, target hero gains hexproof until end of turn. Whenever the Wasp attacks, tap target creature defending player controls. The Wondrous Wasp. 1 and a blue for a 2/1 legendary creature, human hero, with flash and flying. Wasp's Sting. When the Wondrous Wasp enters, tap up to 1 target creature. It loses all abilities for as long as the Wondrous Wasp remains on the battlefield. Card 99.
Yeah.
Valeria,
Valeria, yeah.
Yeah, Valeria Richards, pre English,
Word.
sorry, English.
Valeria Richards.
Yeah, Valeria is a 3 and a blue for a 3/3 human scientist hero. Non-creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Whenever you cast your first non-creature spell each turn, draw a card. Also, really good, just really simple.
Yeah.
That is all of our skips.
Woo!
Woo! Okay, so, so this is, our next card is Attunement. Atlantean Warlord. 2 blue for a 3/4 Merfolk Warrior Villain. Other Merfolk you control get +1/+1. And whenever one or more Merfolk you control attack a player, draw a card. This is also really simple, but I just wanted to mention it's like cool to have like a Lord in your command zone.
Yeah.
And also, it doesn't just draw you 1 card. Like, if you're attacking 3 people, it will draw you 3 cards, as long as those are all Merfolk.
And, you know, you gotta love the fact that there's more merfolk.
Yeah. It's also nice that it's not a combat damage trigger, it's an attack trigger.
Yeah.
It's like, it doesn't matter if you're just attacking for no reason, you get the card anyway. So being able to draw, like, if you're making a lot of tokens, 3 cards extra on your turns is just really good.
Yeah.
Next we have Council of Reeds. 2 and a blue for a 2/2 human scientist hero. The legend rule doesn't apply to creatures you control. Awesome to have in the command zone. We already have that with Sakashima, but also this costs less.
Yeah.
And at the beginning of combat on your turn, if you cast a non-creature spell this turn, create a token that's a copy of the Council of Reeds, which is a really easy condition to meet.
Yeah.
This is from the Fantastic Four precon. It's
solid.
Yeah, you just keep making reads on your turn. This deck probably has a bunch of copy spells. Reed himself being a 2/2 with no other text is kind of useless.
Yeah.
But I think this deck is mainly because it says he has the text of the legend rule doesn't apply. This is a very Sakashima-esque deck where you just pack your deck with as many copy spells as possible. You don't really care about running the ones that specifically make things non-legendary, although they'll definitely be in the deck. And because a lot of these are instant or sorcery spells, he duplicates himself.
Yeah.
I think the main upside for the duplication is then the deck doesn't fall apart as quickly if someone removes the legend rule thing.
Yeah.
If he blows up your commander, because you'll have a spare one or two laying around just from casting spells.
Yeah.
Which makes them kind of cool. So like, yeah, just fill the deck with legendary stuff and hope for the best, I guess. Make a lot of copies of it. Moving on to Helmet Zemo Mastermind. 2 and a blue for a 2/2. Human noble villain. Whenever Helmet Zemo attacks, you may cast target instant sorcery card with mana value less than or equal to his power from your graveyard. If the spell would be put into your graveyard, exile it instead. If you cast a spell this way, put a 1/1 counter on Zemo.
That's pretty solid.
Yeah, no, it's a cool instant sorcerer recursion commander. It's fairly cheap. It improves itself by giving you +1/+1 counters on him. Yeah, it's all around just like a decent card in both the 99 and in the command zone. This is from the I don't know if I mentioned it. This is from the Doom Prevails.
I was about to say that.
Yeah, commander deck. Moving on to Immortus, Master of Eternity. 2 blue for a 2/2 human hero villain. Tap, add 1 blue for each card you have drawn this turn. Spend this mana only to cast non-creature spells. Power up, 5 blue. Each player shuffles their hand and graveyard into their library, then draws 7 cards. Put a 1/1 counter on Immortus.
Again, pretty solid.
Yeah, no, I actually really like this card. I've been looking for a new mono blue commander for a while now. Usually with my decks.
Oh no, not more.
Huh?
I said, oh no, not more.
Well, I only have one mono, besides my CDH deck,
Yeah.
I only have one mono blue deck at the moment, being the ship
Yeah.
that does, whenever a creature you control does combat damage, you draw a card. Which is neat, but I like the idea of having a mana dork in mono blue in your command zone.
I mean, it's
4
cool.
is, 3 would be more preferable, but 4 is nice because it does turn the power up ability into just 3 colorless mana. Each player draws 7 cards, and Immortus gets bigger. There are not many, but there are flicker spells in blue, so realistically you can do this over and over again if you want to. The tap ability is really neat. The casting on creature spells is honestly fine. I mean, like, this deck is probably going to be built as a big non-creature spell deck where you're just casting like these stupidly big instants and sorceries that usually you just don't get to play. Not necessarily like expropriate levels of powerful where you're like taking extra turns and stuff like that, but just like big goofy blue spells that you usually wouldn't be able to play, or big goofy colorless spells that you also just normally wouldn't be able to play. But yeah, no, I think this is a pretty neat...
It's pretty solid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is from Jumpstart, because I don't think we mentioned that as well.
I also don't know if we mentioned that.
Anyway, next friendo, Ironheart, Clever Champion, 4 and a blue for a legendary artifact creature, human hero. 3/4 with Improvise. Reminder on Improvise, your artifacts can help you cast a spell. Each artifact you tap after you're done activating mana abilities pays for 1 generic. It has flying, and non-creature spells you cast have Improvise.
Artifact heavy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. This
Obviously.
is obviously a full artifact deck. Preferably artifacts that don't have tap abilities, although that doesn't really matter. I just think it's neat that, as well as it itself having Improvise, it gives all your other non-creature spells Improvise as well, which is kind of nice.
It's pretty solid.
But yeah, no, it's pretty straightforward. But yeah, we mainly just included it because it cost reduces itself and everything else.
And
Yeah. Moving on to one of our many Iron Men. Iron Man Armored Avenger, 3 and a blue for a 2/2 legendary artifact creature human hero with flying. Whenever you draw a card, put a 1/1 counter on target creature. Whenever Iron Man attacks, other attacking modified creatures gain flying until end turn. Reminder on modified. Modified creatures are creatures that are equipped. They have auras equipped onto them. and counters on the creatures. So anything that is equipped, has an aura on it, or has a counter on it is modified. So Iron Man himself makes things modified, so he can give things flying, as shown in the art where he's given all these people suits of armor that to fly around in. I think this is a neat, like, turning things that don't have flying into creatures with flying kind of deck. Make big things fly. It's cool that it doesn't have any once each turn effects. I would have kind of expected the whenever you draw a card thing, put a 1/1 counter on target creature. This can be a commander damage deck or anything else. You're probably chucking a bunch of like wheels and other like ways to draw a bunch of cards. And I think the main reason we're talking about this, honestly, is just because it doesn't state that it has to be Iron Man that gets the counter. I mean, obviously that's why the second ability is there, but like just the fact that you can give it to any other creature, which is also, I love these things that give you bits of like tricksiness, where like this does mean you could potentially kill someone with someone else's creature if they're like, oh, I'll live on 2, and then you cast something that draws you 2 cards, and then you're like, cool, that gets +2/+2 now. I mean, it's annoying because that's a permanent +1/+1 counter. But like, cool, if it means killing someone who might kill you later on, then like, effort, right?
It's like, how many times have you been left on 1 HP?
Yeah. Oh, dude, too many things. Too many games. I don't block. I take that shit straight to the face. Anyway, this also terrible at this. I don't think I mentioned, but this is from the Avengers Assemble precon.
Yeah.
Moving on, Iron Man Part 2, Electric Boogaloo. So Iron Man Bleeding Edge, 3 blue for a 3/5 legendary artifact creature, human hero with flying. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, you may copy it, except the copy isn't legendary. Do this only once each turn. This is from Jumpstart, remembered this time. The copy becomes a token. That's all what happens to all copies.
No legend rule again on it.
Yeah, no legend. That's awesome. That means you can have 2 One Rings. Yep, that's broken as far. But yeah, I mean, he's 5 mana, so you'd kind of expect something starting to get a bit stronger. Also a really cool commander. I don't know what else there is to say. Find whatever your favorite artifacts are and shove them into this deck. All these cards that we're saying like are really good as the commander, obviously, since they're monocolored, they just get exponentially better in like other decks. Where you have access to like more colored artifacts. Like I'm thinking some of the cards that like reduce costs, like Enthusiastic Mechanaut or whatever it's called, that I believe is an artifact as well, so whenever you cast it, you'll make another copy of it. It wasn't legendary in the first place, but some of them are, so that can help. And then you have 2 cost reducers for the cost of 2 mana. Again, really dope spell. Let's move on to Iron Man Modern Marvel. 2 blue for a 3/3 legendary artifact creature, human hero, with flying. Other artifact creatures you control get +1/+1. Whenever Iron Man attacks, if you control another artifact creature, draw a card. This is in the Welcome decks. This is honestly probably could have been in the skip pile.
Probably.
But it's just like an overall like neat commander. Flying doesn't really matter. It's just flavorful for Iron Man. Other artifact creatures you control getting +1/+1. Same thing we talked about with Namor or whatever it was called.
Namora.
Having a Lord in the command zone is just kind of neat. And then also obviously whenever he attacks, if you control another artifact, which you probably just will.
You probably will.
If you haven't played like a 2-drop rock by the time you get him out, then like you're in mono blue. You've obviously not ramped if something's gone wrong. But yeah, he just attacks and draws you a card, which is just neat. It's cool. Good commander. Next. Leader, Super Genius. 2 blue for a 1/3 Gamma Scientist villain. If a creature you control would connive, instead you draw a card, then that creature connives. At the beginning of combat on your turn, target creature you control connives. Reminder for connive, draw a card, then discard a card. If you discarded a non-land card, put a 1/1 counter on that creature. I'm glad that they're bringing connive back.
Yeah.
I believe it was originally from Streets of New Capenna. Really neat, fun mechanic. Make things potentially big. It's doing the thing that we saw in Final Fantasy with, I can't remember what it's called. It's a 2 and a blue commander that, if you would scry or surveil, I don't know if it's you draw instead. I think it does the same thing where you.
Yeah. I know which one you're talking
and then you
about.
do the same thing. But yeah, it does the same effect where it gives you extra value on top of the value that you're already getting, which is awesome to have in the command zone or in the 99.
Yeah.
Moving on to Lockjaw, Slobbering Teleporter. 1 and a blue for a 1/1 inhuman dog hero with Vigilance. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you've cast a non-creature spell this turn, put a 1/1 counter on Lockjaw. When you do, Lockjaw and up to one other target creature you control can't be blocked this turn. This is from the Fantastic Four Commander decks. Also, I just want to say, flavor text, woof.
Yeah.
Woof.
Also, I think it would be inhuman considering it is a dog.
Yeah, I believe we'll see as we go deeper into the set, but I think they replaced mutant with inhuman, maybe? Because we had a person before, I think, or like someone close to a human that was labeled as inhuman.
Yeah.
But yeah, I honestly...
Also, can I pet that dog? Yeah.
Apologies for this. My cold is not fantastic, and we still wanted to cover the set.
So non-creature spell, 1/1 counter.
Yeah.
Cool.
A lot of the things got onto the non-skip list just because it says non-creature, which I love that they've changed the instant sorcery part to specifically non-creature, just because it gives you a wider variety of things, so like rocks and like other just general artifacts, basically. So that's dope. You're like, oh, he's weak, so like if you're trying to do the commander damage thing, it'll be a lot slower. But you're not. I don't think this deck isn't really trying to do commander damage. It's trying to get in other creatures. He just brings the big stuff to hit your opponents, basically. Pretty much. The fact that he gives himself can't be blocked as well as something else is just neat.
Yeah.
And I mean, Vigilance is always an upside, I suppose.
I still don't know if I would have it as a commander.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, it definitely works both ways. I think it's cool. I mean, it's a 2-drop in the deck is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
But like, if you have some like fun janky card, like if you're playing like a secret commander deck where this is only really in here because some other mono blue thing needs to be able to hit and it's not legendary, then like this is just like a cool commander to have.
Yeah. Fair enough.
We will move on to Loki, Lord of Misrule. 3 and a blue for a 3/4 legendary creature. Oh wow, I don't need to say that anymore. Anyway, God, Sorcerer, Villain. 1 blue mana. Tap. Choose target creature you control. Each creature you control other than the creature chosen, then the chosen creature becomes a copy of that creature until end of turn, except it isn't legendary. Activate only as a sorcerer. I'm going to read that one more time because I stumbled through it a bit. 1 blue, tap Loki. Choose target creature you control. Each creature you control other than the chosen creature becomes a copy of that creature until end of turn, except it isn't legendary. Activate only as a sorcery.
It's doing Loki things.
Yeah, this is also from Jumpstart. But yeah, no, it's there was a instant from Kaldheim that did something similar, like when something entered, all your other stuff became a copy of it, or vice versa, or something like that. It's a pretty cool effect. It's like, it kind of wants you to go wide, but also have like a bunch of like cool creatures that you want to make copies of.
I don't know why, but randomly popped into my head a bunch of Vile Smashers for no particular reason.
Yeah. Also, as a lot of these cards say now, because again, that MCS has taken a hold. The only upside from it is they're printing a lot of accepted isn't legendaries, which
Yeah.
does work really well with like your Vile Smasher desks or decks or other things that you have a lot of legendary creatures in.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this is just in general like a really neat card.
Yeah.
It goes well in both. I think.
You could have it as both. 100% you could have it as both.
Yeah. I think the reason you wouldn't have it as your commander would be more so just because you want access to more colors.
Yeah.
But yeah, besides that, I think there's plenty of ridiculous
Oh yeah, there's
things
plenty
you
of
could do.
shenanigans.
Yeah, Loki will get up to Loki things.
Yeah.
Let us move forth to Miss Marvel. Kamala Khan. 2 and a blue for a 1/4 mutant inhuman hero. Vigilance, reach, you have no maximum hand size. Embiggen Fist. Whenever you cast a spell that targets a creature you control, draw a card. Until in turn, Miss Marvel gains Miss Marvel's base power, and base power is equal to the number of cards in your hands. Yeah. So yeah, this is what I was talking about. I think otherwise this would be it's a bit weird because it already says it's a mutant. So
Yeah.
maybe inhuman refers more so to alien?
Yeah, maybe.
I think. Do we have alien? I thought
We have alien.
We have aliens.
We have
in Magic.
alien.
So maybe this is like us. No, I don't think it's a swap because otherwise they would have errated all the other cards.
Well,
No, I haven't heard anything about
I'd
that.
say it's closer to like because they're like inhuman abilities, right? They're not.
Yeah, maybe that is the case then. Yeah,
I don't know.
Either way, yeah, this is neat. Vigilance reach is good. No maximum hand size is fantastic.
That's
in the
always
command
great.
Zone.
Yeah.
Whenever you cast a spell that targets a creature you control, draw a card.
That's gonna happen a lot in blue.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say necessarily a lot in
I mean,
blue,
any color.
but yeah, I mean, you have a lot of different ways. Like, even if you're just playing spells that like protect Miss Marvel, or just like other, just general like pump spells or whatever else, being able to draw a card from those is pretty good. And yeah, it just gets bigger. This is another just commander damage card, but I thought it'd be good to
Funnily
mention.
enough, I reckon it'd be alright in my Narset deck.
Oh yeah, probably. I didn't say it before, but I actually think the Loki Lord of Misrule before would also be kind of neat in Narset, just
Yeah.
making like a bunch of prowess. So it'd blow your head off.
Prowess,
But like
prowess,
it'd be
prowess.
like a finisher. It's like cool. Loki in play Narset, and then it's just like activate Loki. So my several tokens that I've been making over the game are suddenly like all Narsets. I cast one instant or sorcery or one spell. Prowess. Like, okay, so everything gets like plus 100, plus 100.
And your brain just explodes.
Yeah, as well as your opponents.
Yeah, I mean-
from combat damage. Anyway, let's move. Let's move past Miss Marvel and go on to Namor, Scourge of the Seas. 3 blue for a 4/4 legendary creature, mutant merfolk villain with flying. Each other merfolk you control with a 1/1 counter on it has flying. At the beginning of combat on your turn, target creature you control connives. Yeah, I just automatically like most of the cards that say they connive on them. Putting a 1/1 counter, giving merfolk 1/1 counters is fine. I think this is probably more so in the 99.
Yeah,
Like,
would
this
say
goes
99,
really
yeah.
well in the Huckball
Huckball,
command
yeah.
deck that makes everything explore. So and also just with the help of green to put 1/1 counters on things.
Yeah.
So giving all your not just another way to give all your merfolk evasion is really cool. I should also mention really quickly this is from Jumpstart. But yeah, no, it's just alright commander. Again, conniving is fun.
Nice
and,
fun.
Giving everything keyword evasion is also pretty good.
I'm starting to think you just like Merfolk.
Merfolk's really strong.
It is. It's strong.
And it's getting ever stronger. Anyway, let's go on to second Namor. Namor the Mariner. 1 blue for a Star 4 legendary creature, mutant merfolk villain with flying. Namor's power is equal to the number of merfolk you control. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this with 1 or more blue mana symbols in its mana cost, create that many 1/1 blue merfolk creature
Okay, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's Spellslinger payoff deck, and you just try to find like some of the more unique spells that we're not really running in our format anymore, like the mono blue charms, which are like 3 blue, or like just other like really blue intensive cards.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't even care that Namor's power is getting bigger. I mean, that's cool, and he has flying, so you will be able to kill people with commander damage. But just like, you're gonna, board wipe, counter spell.
This is one of the ones
your board wipe doesn't happen, and I get 2 merfolk. F you.
Well, this is one of the ones I see more as a commander than.
Oh yeah, I highly doubt that this is going in anything but a mono blue deck.
Yeah.
And it's probably the commander of the mono blue deck.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, really cool / strong card. Let us move on to Reed Richards' Smartest Man. 5 and a blue for a 2/4 human scientist hero with reach. You have no maximum hand size. The first time you would draw a card each turn, except the first card you draw during your each of your draw steps, you draw 4 cards instead. This is from Jumpstart. It's fairly self-explanatory, but I mean, I just personally enjoy this type of mono blue deck. 6 mana is quite expensive, but it's doing busted stuff.
Yeah.
There are so many 1 mana instance spells in blue that draw you 1 card. So just being able to be like, okay, on your turn, pay 1, draw 4, is just nuts.
Pretty solid.
Yeah. Also, once again, no maximum hand size in your command zone is pretty good.
It's always good.
Moving on to Shuri, Wakandan Inventor. 1 and a blue for a 2/1 human artificer hero. Artifact spells you control. Artifact spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Pay 1. Tap. Target artifact you control becomes a copy of a second target artifact you control until end of turn, except it isn't legendary. Activate only as a sorcery.
Again, more copy spells that make things not legendary.
Yeah, which is awesome. I'm a tiny bit sad she's not an artifact herself.
Yeah.
This would go in mostly just sad because otherwise it'd really go well in my Emery deck, because Emery's looking for more low cost artifact cost reducers. But it's still a really good card. I know some other format communities are going off because this does a fairly strong thing with another really strong card called, I think it's Time Vault,
Right.
where it's an artifact that enters tapped, but you can I don't know if you pay mana into it, but I think you tap it and you take an extra turn after this one.
Right.
But because it enters tapped, obviously the opponent has a chance to like do stuff in response. Oh, well, has an extra turn before you do stuff with it, and usually this card leads to like extra turns and stuff. But with Shuri, as well as reducing its cost so you can play it earlier, if you already have another artifact out, you can just turn the other artifact that's already untapped into Time Vault, and then take the extra turn straight away, which is neato. But yeah, like in our format, there are still plenty of ways to abuse the absolute hell out of Shuri, without, and even just like normal fun stuff. So like just like more cost reducers become like turn like a rock into a cost reducer, or
Yeah.
turn make the like a bunch of legendary artifacts, just like turn this treasure into a one ring, and then like sure it'll draw you a card, but you're not going to take damage because it's not going to be around for your next turn.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, there are.
Solid.
I'm sure there are plenty of ways that our community will find to abuse.
They're
the
good
hell
at
out of
that.
this. Yeah. We'll move on to Silver Surfer, Cosmic Voyager, 4 blue for a 5/5 alien hero. There's alien.
There's alien.
Flash flying. When Silver Surfer enters, exile any number of other target permanents you control. Return those cards to the battlefield under their owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. If a land entered this way, it enters tapped. This is from Jumpstart. Now, originally we had this on our skip list, but after thinking about it for a while, because originally I put it on there like, oh, it would be so good if the lands entered untapped. But I think even with that being the case, I'm not saying there isn't ways to like make them into untapped.
Yeah.
But just like if they enter tapped, like that they still enter. So if you're running this with like landfall payoffs, that blue does have, and some of them are like really strong. Like Tidespout Tyrant, I believe, takes control of creatures on landfall. So like end step, all your lands come back, and then you just take everyone's shit. And also it's a really good protection spell, obviously. Someone tries to board wipe and this is in your command zone, you just cast it and save everything until end of turn. The until end of turn effect, so everything comes back at the beginning of the next end step, is both like a really good upside and like a downside as well.
Yeah.
Because like obviously things flickering is also pretty good, but I think using this as a protection piece in the command zone is also pretty neat, and blue does have ways to flicker, so like,
Yeah.
you know, it is just good. This being just like a mono blue value deck is all right.
Fair enough.
Move on to Victor Timely, Willy Tycoon, 4 and a blue for a 3/4 human artificer villain. When Victor Timely enters, you may cast target artifact, instant or sorcery with instant or sorcery card with mana value 4 or less from your graveyard without paying its mana cost. If that spell would be put into your graveyard, exile it instead.
It's similar to the one we had before.
Yeah, I think this is, once again, a mono-blue flicker deck, or put into a white-blue shell.
Yeah.
It getting mana value 4 or less is pretty good. That we've mentioned a lot, but it hits the one ring. Not usually. I mean, usually that's not in your graveyard, but for some reason, if it is, then cool. Being able to cast it without paying its mana cost is amazing. And there's obviously other ways to get ETB triggers besides like cloning and stuff.
Yeah.
Cloning, flickering, all that shenanigans. It's fairly simple, but it can be really strong if you build it with purpose or put it in a deck that flickers and does mill shenanigans.
Yeah.
We will move on to Vision, Spectral Synthezoid, 6 blue, for a legendary artifact creature robot hero. It's a 2/5. Flying once during each of your turns, you may cast a non-creature or robot spell from your hand without paying its mana cost. This is from Jumpstart. Damn, 8
That's
mana is
that's
a lot.
insane. Like insane in both mana costs, and the ability itself is
it's
really good as well.
I think it probably could have been one less. I think what was that, 6? If it was 4 blue, so 6 mana, it would have been probably too strong.
Yeah.
6 blue, so 8 mana feels like a bit much, but like I would assume the people at Wizards usually know what they're doing.
Usually.
Yeah. I mean, like, just like, even if you have another strong thing in your hand, like you cast this and then you cast something else that's like more mana than it, and that immediately pays for itself. So like, yeah, sure, whatever. But yeah, no, this effect is bonkers. Expensive spells, any spells, just general free value stuff, whatever you can dream of. This deck is just, it's strong. It is only once each turn, which is a shame. But, and this only just came into my head, but I will mention it. This is nuts with Displacer Kitten.
Oh.
I mean, Displacer Kitten is a problem in itself.
Yeah.
But, like, its effect is specifically non-creature, same as Displacer Kitten. So, like, this is out, Displacer Kitten's out, cast a non-creature spell, Displacer Kitten trigger, Flicker Vision, then you can cast another thing for free, Flicker Vision, then you can cast another thing for free, then you can Flicker Vision.
No.
So it's a kind of like a weird build your own omniscience. Which, by the way, you can just cast this and get a cheaper omniscience, because I think omniscience is 10 or 9. So yeah, no, this deck it's just value. That's what it is. Moving on to Vulture Featherhead Fiend, 2 blue for a 2/4 human artificer villain with flying. Whenever one or more creatures you control with flying deal combat damage to a player, put a 1/1 counter on each of those creatures and draw a card. This is from Jumpstart. This is just a plain and simple go wide, make things big deck.
Yeah.
A bunch of birds and flyers and stuff like that. It's cool having a bit of card advantage in your command zone. I don't think there's too much to say about that.
There's not really a whole lot to say about it. Honestly, I'm surprised it wasn't in Skip.
Yeah, it's kind of just like a normal. Like it's like just good enough not to be.
Yeah.
But yeah. We will move forth to Wasp, Shrinking Savior, one of the ones that did not make it to the skip list.
Yes.
For a weird reason. So 2 and a blue for a 1/3 legendary creature, human hero with flying. Whenever Wasp attacks, up to one other target creature gets -3/-1 until end of your next turn. Then draw a card for each creature with power less than 0 on the battlefield. So, the reason this wasn't on the skip
also,
list...
it's from Jumpstart.
Yeah, Jumpstart, thank you. Is blue does actually have a lot of ways to shrink power specifically.
Yes.
And a lot of... It can have a lot of, like, O somethings. So, like, O3s, O4s, or whatever. Things that with no power. But yeah, a lot of instances of sorceries and enchantments, especially, that shrink things' power. So I think there is a world where this does draw you a lot of cards each turn. It's the only reason it wasn't on the skip list, and it being an attack trigger and not an enter trigger is also just amazing.
I mean, look at walls.
Yeah. They usually owe some things.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, there's not much said, but I just wanted to mention it because it can draw you a lot of cards.
Fair enough.
And that is something that I specifically love doing. And I believe that we have one more card in blue, being Wiccan, Rising Magician. So 4 in a blue for a 4/4 mutant warlock hero with flying. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, exile another target non-token permanent, return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. Thank God it said that, because otherwise this would just be another slightly more expensive Displacer Kitten.
We don't need more Displacer Kittens.
Yeah, especially not in your command zone.
Yeah.
Like when I started reading this initially, when we were making these lists, I was like, oh, what have they done? They've made Displacer Kitten legendary and only for 1 more mana. But no, the beginning of the next end step is fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Like, it's still, like, stupidly good. In both the 99 and as the commander. But, like, at the next end step, does really, like, slow it down a bit.
Yeah. Thank God.
Yeah. The fact that this let me just read this again. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, exile another target non-land, non-token permanent. Yeah, it's not just yours either. So like, if you turn this into like a combat deck, or like someone has a threat, being able to cast something that otherwise wouldn't be able to deal with it, like, let's say you have, like, someone's got, I don't know, something else really strong, and they need to use it specifically on their turn, and you don't have a ability in mono blue to remove it for that turn. You just cast anything, and it flickers out of existence, and then it comes back. And obviously, since it comes back at their end step, they just can't use it as well as they could have. Although I'm not too much into the scene, and I only really chat with people once a week about the CDH stuff, I don't think this is like amazing just because it costs a decent amount in mono blue.
Yeah.
But I think this is also pretty good spell. Like, it giving mono blue a way to interact with specifically enchantments and artifacts in mono blue is like really good, because like
good, yeah.
if you're gonna have a turn where you pop off and like people have like Smothering Tithes and Ristic Studies out, and you don't want to feed them a lot of cards, you can just cast like one or two spells and blink them out of existence, have your pop off turn, and then if you haven't won on your end step, they just come back.
Yeah.
But
Which
yeah,
is fair.
really good card. Let us move forth to black, which is our final color for this video. Thank Christ. And this will be our skips once again. So let's get this started.
Whoa.
Quick drink. Arnim Zola Biofanatic, 2 and a black for a 2/3 legendary artifact creature, scientist villain. 3 tap, create a tapped 2/1 black villain creature token with menace. Activate only if there are 2 or more creature cards in your graveyard. Bob, reluctant Hydra agent, 1 and a black for a 2/2 human coward villain. Whenever Bob attacks alone, return him to his owner's hand. If you do, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Boomerang Blade Flinger, 1 and a black for a 1/3 human villain. Whenever Boomerang attacks, he deals 1 damage to each opponent and you gain 1 life. Count Nefaria, 6 and a black for a 6/6 human villain. This spell costs 3 less to cast if you've sacrificed a permanent this turn with flying. Sorry, if you sacrificed a permanent this turn and he has flying. Then we have Crossbones, Malicious Mercenary, 3 and a black for a 3/3 human mercenary villain with Death Touch. Whenever another villain you control enters, put a 1/1 counter on Crossbones. He deals 2 damage to each opponent. This ability triggers only once each turn. Electra, Daughter of the Hand, 2 black for a 3/3 human ninja villain with Sneak. Reminder for Sneak, you may cast a spell for 1 black, which is the sneak cost.
Mm-hmm.
If you also return an unblocked attacker you control to hand during the declare blockers step, she enters tapped and attacking. When Electra enters, destroy target creature and opponent controls with mana value 3 or less. Fixer Techno Terror, 1 and a black for a 2/1 human artificer villain. Tap, pay 2 life, draw a card, activate only if an artifact entered under your control this turn. Green Goblin, back for more, 3 black for a 4/4 goblin human villain. Flying and menace. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may discard a card. If you do, each opponent discards a card. Also has Mayhem, reminder for Mayhem. Mayhem, 3 black. The reminder for Mayhem is you may cast this card from your graveyard for the Mayhem cost. If you discard this card, if you discarded it this turn, timing rules still apply. Then we have Claw Sonic Subjugator, 2 and a black for a 2/2 human rogue villain with Sonic Attack. When Claw enters, target player reveals a number of cards from their hand equal to 1 plus the number of creature cards in your graveyard. You choose one of them. That player discards that card. Next, we have Mark 1 Swooping Scoundrel. 1 and a black for a 1/3 legendary artifact creature. Human villain with flying. When Mark 1 enters and whenever you gain life, surveil 1. This ability only chooses once each turn. Madam Mask. 4 and a black for a 3/2 human villain. When Madam Mask enters, she connives. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, create a 2/1 black villain creature token with menace. Modok Evil Intellect, 3 black for a 3/5 legendary artifact creature villain. Flying, whenever you draw your second card each turn, target opponent sacrifices a non-token creature of their choice. Radioactive Man, 4 and a black for a 3/5 human scientist villain with death touch. Whenever Radioactive Man deals combat damage to a player, that player loses half their life, rounded up, which is a really strong effect, but it's 5 mana and it's kind of slow. Songbird, Sonic Screamer, 1 and a black for a 2/1 human villain with lifelink. Discard card. Songbird gains flying until end of turn. The Masters of Evil, 5 and a black for a 5/6. Other villains you control get +2/+1. Pay 1 and a black. Discard this card. Search a library for a plan card. Reveal it. Put it into your hand. Then shuffle. This would be really cool, but there isn't many ways to put this in your hand. Otherwise, it could be a secret commander deck with plans as the main commander. Titanium Man, 2 black for a 3/4 legendary artifact creature human villain. Whenever Titanium Man attacks, choose one. They gain flying until end of turn or deals 1 damage to any target. Ultimo Civilization's End, 4 black for a 6/5 legendary artifact creature robot villain with menace. When Ultimo enters, each opponent sacrifices a creature of their choice, or 2 and a black, discard this card. Each opponent sacrifices a creature of their choice. Yellow Jacket, Heartless Marauder, 1 and a black for a 1/2 legendary creature human rogue villain with flying. Whenever another villain you control enters, Yellow Jacket gets +1/+0 and gains lifelink until end of turn. That's it for the skips, the fast-paced section of this. Now we will go on to the normal black cards with Baron Helmut.
Helmut
Zemo. Black for a 3/3 human noble villain. Whenever you cast a black spell from your hand, Baron Helmut Zemo connives. Then he has Boast. A reminder for Boast, activate only if this creature attacked this turn and only once each turn. Exile any number of black cards from your graveyard with 15 or more black mana symbols among their mana costs. Copy those cards. Copy those exiled cards. You may cast up to 3 of the copies without paying their mana costs.
That's honestly pretty solid.
Yeah, it's like a turbo mill deck, and it's devotion based, so it's heavy on all the black pips.
Yeah.
And then you're just wanting to it probably still runs like Reanimator, 1 or 2 reanimation pieces, but it's mostly relying on exiling stuff from your bin.
Yeah.
And then just casting free, really expensive shit from with Zemo's ability.
Yeah.
But pretty cool. Also obviously the connive helps.
A connive helps.
With
obviously.
filling your bin.
Yes.
And potentially making Zemo big. Next card we have is Baron Strucker, Hydra Overlord, 2 and a black for a 2/2 human villain. Villain spells cost 1 less to cast. Whenever another villain you control enters, you may have its connive. Do this only once each turn. Only once each turn kind of sucks. The only reason it's in here is really because it's a cost reducer in the command zone for villains, which is the newer type.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's cool that whenever another villain enters, it connives.
Yeah.
Overall, kind of subpar, but it's good in the 99.
It's good in the 99. It's solid. Very solid.
Black Widow, Daring Operative, 4 and a black for a 3/4 human spy hero with menace. Whenever Black Widow enters, mill 3 cards. Whenever Black Widow deals combat damage to a player, each opponent loses life equal to the number of creature cards in your graveyard. This is from the Welcome decks. Yeah, this is, again, a really solid turbo mill kill everyone deck.
Yeah.
ETB is fine, but it honestly, in the grand scheme of things, doesn't really matter. You want this deck to probably be really creature heavy, because obviously they deal damage. Each opponent loses life equal to the number of creature cards in your graveyard, so you want an overwhelming amount of creatures. But yeah, I don't know what else to say. Like,
it's
good.
It's good.
Yeah, no, I like cards generally that affect everyone equally instead of just targeting one person and putting them out of the game.
Yeah.
So even though you could do a commandery damage thing, because it does need to do damage, so you're putting in like other equipment and stuff that give evasion, being able to just like knock a lot of people out is pretty strong.
It's pretty solid.
Yeah. Moving on to another Black Widow. Black Widow Deadly Hunter, 2 and a black for a 3/3 human assassin hero with Death Touch. Whenever a creature you control with Death Touch deals combat damage to a player, you draw a card and lose a life. This is from Jumpstart. This is mainly included, even though it is a really simple plan, it's just a really good draw engine in mono black that you could have in your command zone. So obviously this is really good in the 99 as well, especially, but like if you're planning to put it in, it would be in a deck that already has a lot of Death Touch creatures. So it's probably just better as the commander.
Probably.
And in a deck that you want your life total to be low for whatever reason.
Fair enough.
Moving on to another Black Widow, number 3. Black Widow Super Spy. 1 and a black for a 2/1 human spy hero with menace. Whenever Black Widow deals combat damage to a player, that player exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile a non-land card. You may put a 1/1 counter on Black Widow. If you don't, you may cast the exiled non-land card until end of turn, and mana of any type can be spent to cast that spell. So it's like a mono black Ragavan basically.
Yeah.
Okay. Early deals combat damage. Instead of you getting the treasure, so it has two main differences from Ragavan. Obviously, the mana cost being 1.
Yeah.
But you getting something if you don't hit something is also good. I mean, technically with Ragavan you always get the treasure, so that's also really good. But this will always get bigger, and that's also really good. It also has menace, which is also really good. And also it going until it hits a non-land, which is different from Ragavan, where Ragavan can miss and hit a land off the top of their line.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not fantastic. It's probably better than the 99.
I would say 99.
But
I wouldn't
it is an interesting card just to like make that comparison. Moving on to Citizen V Helmut Zemo. 2 and a black for a 2/2 human noble villain with lifelink. Whenever you gain life, put a 1/1 counter on each villain you control. This is from Jumpstart. It's
I don't know why that's not in Skip, but yeah.
Yeah, no, it's just like interesting. Putting like just a villain deck where you try to gain life and everything gets big together. It's not amazing, but I just kind of wanted to bring it up.
Fair enough.
It's not as skippable as some of the other ones that we've gone through. This is Crimson Cowl, Master of Evil. 2 and a black for a 1/3 human villain. Whenever one or more non-token villains you control attack a player, you create a 2/1 black villain creature token with menace. This is from Jumpstart. This is another one that was really close to being put on the skip, but I just find it interesting for the play villains, make villains, attack, and make other things.
Fair enough.
It's not like really strong, but like it's just like a cool card in the 99.
Yeah. Okay.
Next we have Damocles, I think.
Yeah.
Damocles base Sword of Kang, 4 and a black for a 5/5 legendary artifact. It is a vehicle with flying and death touch. Whenever Damocles base deals combat damage to a player, that player faces a villainous choice. So, they either sacrifice a non-token creature of their choice, or they lose 2 life and you draw 2 cards. It has crew 3. So you can tap a creature to pay for its crew cost equal to its power, I believe.
Yeah.
This is from the Doom Prevails Pregon. I think just generally speaking, we'll always talk about like cool new vehicles that could be your commander.
Yeah. Vehicles are always going to be.
Also, villainous choice is just like fun.
Villainous choice, yeah.
I think generally speaking, they might always, depending on their board state, choose to sacrifice a creature. But the option of you losing 2 life and drawing 2 cards is also really cool.
Yeah. Interesting ability.
Yeah, let us move forth to Dr. Doom for black for a 3/3 human scientist villain. When Dr. Doom enters, create 2 3/3 colorless robot villain artifact creature tokens named Doombot. As long as you control an artifact creature or a plan, Dr. Doom has indestructible. At the beginning of your end step, you draw a card and lose a life.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it doesn't do too much, but he does, generally speaking, just always have indestructible.
Yeah.
You have to kill the other 2 Doombots to stop him from having indestructible, and even then you probably have other artifacts on the battlefield. At the beginning of your end step, to draw a card and lose a life is just like a cool effect to have.
Yeah.
Just another upside. It's nothing too special unless you can find a way to abuse the ETB of creating 2 Doombots.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's also a tiny bit overcosted, all things considered.
Yeah, 6 mana.
Let's move on to Dr. Doom Unraveled. 2 black for a 4/4 human sorcerer villain with lifelink. Tap, draw a card, and lose a life. Then, if your library has no cards in it, you win the game. This is from Jumpstart.
Back to self-milling.
Yeah. This is, I think, just like a generally cool card for black to have access to now.
Yeah.
Usually it's more of a blue thing to, if you have no library, you win the game. But no, this is definitely a cool way to go about it if you somehow completely milled yourself out in black, or if you're running this in a blue-black shell, which is probably more likely.
Yeah.
But because there's not too many ways in mono black to abuse the tap ability to draw a card and lose a life. But yeah, we will move forth to Grim Reaper Lethal Legionnaire, 3 and a black for a 3/4 human villain. Whenever Grim Reaper attacks, you may pay 3 and a black. When you do, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. And attacking with reread that from the start. Whenever Grim Reaper attacks, you may pay 3 and a black. When you do, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped and attacking with a finality counter on it. So yeah, it's just, it's expensive for a reanimate effect.
Yeah.
But also it just gets anything from your graveyard, or any creature card from your graveyard, and it's tapped and attacking, which is just kind of cool.
Yeah.
I just thought this was like kind of neat and like a fun, like low powered reanimator deck.
Yeah.
Cool. Next we have Hammerhead, Magia boss.
Magia boss, yeah. Magia boss.
1 and a black for a 2/1 human rogue villain. Sacrifice another creature or artifact, put a 1/1 counter on Hammerhead. This is from Jumpstart. It's a simple effect, but it's a free sack outlet that you can have as your commander.
Another sack outlet.
Yeah, and it is just another one. It is both one of the first free, infinitely repeatable sack outlets that you can have in your command zone, and also it doesn't give you a temporary effect.
Yeah.
Viscera Seer or whatever that lets you scry is, I think personally, a better effect, but it making itself infinitely big if you have a way to go through loops and stuff is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Let us continue forth. Actually, real quick, I should mention it also is also really good that it'll let you sacrifice artifacts as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Moving on to Ironmonger, Sadistic Tycoon. 2 and a black for a 2/2 legendary artifact creature, human villain. Flying, whenever a creature you control connives, put a 1/1 counter on each villain you control. This is just a good commander for a connive deck.
Yes.
The fact that it's not put a 1/1 counter on the creature that connived, even though that might be good if you're not specifically building around villains, it's being villain in itself, so it will always get big, and it has flying, so you could hit with commander damage, which is the tried and true method. But it putting a counter on all of your villains is just really good, and having a cool mono black connive deck. So
yes, must mention Doom Prevails is where you get this card
from the Doom Prevails pre.
I would have it as a 99.
It's probably better than 99 unless you're specifically trying to smush connive and villains together in your deck. Next, we have Kingpin, Wilson Fisk, 3 and a black for a 3/6 human villain with menace. Whenever you sacrifice Kingpin or another creature, create 2 treasure tokens. This ability triggers only once each turn. It is from Jumpstart. The once each turn bit kind of sucks, but otherwise this would probably go infinite with like water. I don't know. It'd go infinite with like everything. This goes really well, especially with Hammerhead, that gives you the sack effects for free. And any way to save things on other people's turns. Like if you have this out, and you have since I'm kind of surprised they didn't say. I guess because it's only triggered. It only triggers once each turn. They thought that was enough for cap on it, but I'm surprised they didn't say non-token creature. Because this and Ophiomancer, which makes a snake on everyone's upkeep if you don't already have that specific snake, you, in one turn cycle, not including your own turn, you make 6 treasure tokens.
Yeah.
Which is nutty.
Again, I'm thinking Dockside Extortionist levels of stuff here.
Yeah. It can do some busted stuff. It's not quite that good, but... it's a really good card, and it's just a good mana generating commander.
Yeah. That's if it wasn't this ability. It's still not as good as Dockside there.
I mean, nothing as good as
Bring back Dockside.
Anyway, this is Claw Master of Sound, 2 and a black for a 3/3 elemental rogue villain with Death Touch. Whenever you play a card from exile, Claw gains indestructible until end of turn. Whenever Claw deals combat damage to a player, look at the top card of that player's library, then exile it face down. You may play it for as long as it remains exiled. Mana of any type can be spent to play this card. This spell, sorry. I think it's just kind of neat. It like plays with other people's decks.
Yeah.
Whenever you play a card from exile, it gains indestructible is a cool effect. But yeah, no, I think this is just a fine card.
It's fine.
And there are other decks that do some other things, and in which case, if you have one of those commanders already, this probably just goes in one of those decks. I don't remember if we mentioned, but this is also from the Doom Prevails precon. We'll move on to our next card. Madame Hydra Reanimated, 3 and a black for a 2/2 human horror villain with menace. Madame Hydra gets +1/+1 for each creature card in your graveyard. When Madame Hydra enters or attacks, mill 2 cards. This is from the beginner box. This is really simple, but I just thought we wanted to talk about it.
Yeah.
It just it gets humongous for each thing in your bin, for each creature in your bin. So yeah, creature heavy, mill the hell out of yourself. It has a way of evasion. So yeah, it's just a good card.
It's a good card.
It's also, I'd say probably more in the 99, in which case it is just like a really big creature in a self-mill deck.
Yeah.
Moving on to Minotaur Roxon CEO, 4 black for a 4/4 Minotaur villain. Whenever Tor, Rox, Ncio, or another non-token creature dies, you create a 2/1 black villain creature token with Menace. Yep, just goes in or as the commander of a sack deck.
Yep.
Make a lot of 2/1s. It's just really good. I don't. There's not much else.
There's
to say
not
about
much
it.
to say about it, but it is
It's
just
a
good.
sack deck that makes a lot of tokens. Obviously, it doesn't go infinite because it does specifically mention non-token.
Yeah.
But it does really well at making extra bodies for all the other things that care about you sacrificing creatures.
Yeah.
Moving on. That was also from the beginner box. Moving on to Modok. 3 black for a 2/2 legendary artifact creature villain with flying and lifelink. Mental Organism. Pay 3 life. Modok Connives. Activate only during your turn. And then, designed only for killing. Creatures your opponents control get -1, -1. So when it enters, everything that your opponents control are just generally smaller now, which is neat. I think you're mostly building this for the fact that it is a free way to get your life down as much as possible, and also it's as much as you have life, infinite connives, basically.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. I don't particularly know how people would plan to build this. This does have the like opportunity to play the cards that swap your life total with someone else. So realistically, if you have enough mana, your turn could be like either play this or have this in play, pay a lot of life if you don't have the card in hand already, and then once you get down to a certain life total, while you're conniving and trying to look for the card, you just swap your life with someone else.
Again, one of my decks that I have, the Marchaser again, you're always wanting to be able to dethrone.
Yeah, and it like being flying and lifelink, so it does have a way of getting you that life back.
Yeah.
Is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's alright.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. We'll move on to Moonstone, Hearth's Mistress, 3 and a black for a 2/4 human doctor villain. Whenever you discard a card, you may exile that card from your graveyard. If you do, until the end of your next turn, you may play that card. This was going to be on the skip list, but I think this is just a really good mention for in the 99 of Rakdos discard deck.
Fair enough.
Because it just gives you access to cards that otherwise would have been put in your bin. Being able to play them until the end of your next turn is just too good.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sure there are ways. I don't know too many in mono black because usually discarding, unless you're being hand attacked. And there are some cards in black that do it to yourself for some other advantage, but generally speaking, I think this is more of a red thing.
Yeah.
But no, if there is a way that I'm just not aware of for a lot of you discard cards for other effects, then this would be an amazing commander. But otherwise, I think this is in the deck, in the 99 of some kind of Rakdos discard deck.
Yeah, okay.
Moving on to Ronin Shadowstalker, 2 and a black for a 3/3 human rogue hero, pay 2 life. Add 2 mana of any one color, spend this mana only to cast equipment spells or activate equipped abilities, activated only once each turn. Tap, sack, and equipment attached to Ronin. Target creature gets -4/-4 until end of turn. Activate only as a sorcery. This is mainly on here just because it's really unique. There's some that we'll talk about later on. I'm not sure if it's in this video or in part 3 when we get to multicolored, but there are some black/black-white cards that care about equipment that isn't something we usually get.
Yeah.
This being a equipment mana dork per se as well, is also really good. It's fairly cheap, so being able to cast this on 3, or realistically, if you've played a mana rock, or like I guess more Sol Ring or whatever, like 2 or 3, and then being able to, if you have it in hand, like play one of the shoes, like being able to play Greaves or Swiffer Boots or something like that, or just like any 2-cost equipment spell, or like if you already have one of those out, being able to equip it is really good. And the sacrifice ability is neat. Being able to have removal in your command zone is also pretty good.
Yeah, removal's always good.
Let's move on to Swordsman, Sharp Scoundrel, 1 in a black for a 2/2 human hero villain. Whenever another villain you control enters, attach up to 1 target equipment you control to target creature you control. Whenever an equipped creature you control attacks, it connives. Another equipment creature that we were just talking about, mono black equipment. It's unique. We haven't really seen it that often. But yeah, giving basically all of your equipped creatures the ability to dig through your deck is just it's good.
That's very good.
And also it's a 2-drop, so like 2-drop commanders are pretty good in general.
Yes.
You
had something.
Equip you control to target. Yeah, whenever another villain you control enters, attach up to 1 target equip.
Yeah.
I was like, the first ability is good. I mean, obviously this will just get better the more villains we get. I don't think you're putting too many in this deck. I haven't really looked at how you would build it at the moment.
Yeah.
But being able to attach up to 1 target equipment you control to target creature you control, and that doesn't necessarily need to be the villain that enters, is a good way to just cheap like some of the more hefty equip costs, like Colossal Hammer that gives +10/+10, so on and so forth. But yeah, no, it's a cool card.
If it didn't say villain, it would be.
It'd be nutty if it wasn't villain. Thanos Death Consort, 2 black, for a 3/3 eternal villain. With lifelink, whenever another creature dies, put a 1/1 counter on Thanos. Although this is also from the Villain Unleashed scene box. This is not necessarily the best commander. I mean, it gets really big. It has lifelink. All the really good things, especially in a sack deck. There are definitely better sack commanders out there. This is just a cool card, but it is definitely really good in the 99.
Yeah.
It's just a good payoff. Keep your health high with the lifelink, and it could get big fairly quickly.
Yes.
It's also nice that like it doesn't just get big from creatures being sacrificed. It's when creatures die. So yeah.
So imagine if I had trample. Oh
yeah,
god,
dude, that'd be nutty. Next we have the Frightful 4, 3 and a black for a 4/4 villain with menace. Whenever an opponent casts their first non-creature spell each turn, that player loses life equal to that spell's mana value. This is just a cool card.
That's just cool.
Yeah, no, it's like it's not necessarily good because there's ways people get around it, but it's every turn. So like even if someone's trying to interact on someone else's turn, then they have to take the damage from that spell.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it's like cast small things or regret it, basically.
Yeah.
This is another one where like I kind of want to build it just to see how it plays out, but no, it seems like an interesting. It just sits there and gains you value by slowly killing your opponent's deck.
I mean, also it's from Doom Prevails.
Oh yeah, it is from the Doom Prevails precon. Thank you. This next card is Ultron, the Annihilator, 3 black for a 3/4 legendary artifact creature, robot villain. With flying, whenever Ultron enters or attacks, create a 2/2 colorless robot villain artifact creature token. Whenever another artifact is put into your graveyard from the battlefield, or an artifact card is put into your graveyard from anywhere other than the battlefield, each opponent loses 1 life. This is another artifact is put into your graveyard from the battlefield, or artifact card.
Why am I thinking Prosper?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely does the drain thing really well. Obviously, treasures go nuts with it.
Yeah.
It having enters or attacks for making its robots, which obviously feeds into the second ability, is also really good. But yeah, no, I think this is just like an overall really good drain effect. It does like Sir Conrad impression where
Yeah.
it doesn't just care about cards from the battlefield, it also cares about artifacts from graveyard, from anywhere other than the battlefield.
Yeah.
So basically just if an artifact is put into the graveyard from anywhere, it drains everyone.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, this is another really cool artifact sack / heavy mill deck. If you have like some way to just like mill yourself a ton, and then that just like drains everyone. It's really good.
That's good.
Next we have
Valentina?
oh, I should mention, sorry, that's from Jumpstart.
Jumpstart.
Yeah. Jumpstart's getting all these really cool cards.
I know, right?
Next is Valentina, Allegra de Fontaine, 2 and a black for a 2/3 legend, 2/3 human spy villain. Other villains you control are heroes in addition to their other types. Tap, target hero you control connivers, activate as a sorcery. This is not. It's also from Jumpstart. I mainly just wanted to include this just because it had that kind of nifty line of text of other villains you control are heroes in addition to the other types.
Yeah, there's like villains are heroes and heroes are villains.
Yeah, which is, I think, just like a neat line of text. It's probably like more of a kind of cool synergy piece in different multicolored deck. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about it a tiny bit more just because it's a neat line of text to have on a card.
Yeah.
And I mean, target hero connives is fine.
That's, yeah.
Yeah.
Conniving's always
definitely more in the 99 than otherwise.
99.
Next we have Viper Cruel Conspirator, 1 and a black for a 2/2 human assassin villain. Pay 1 black, target creature that's attacking alone gets +1/+1 until on the turn, and then pay 1 black, target creature that's attacking alone gains your choice of Death Touch or Lifelink on a turn. This is from Jumpstart. This is another like really kind of cool card. Like on the surface, it doesn't read as much, but it does like a fun like mono black Shivan Dragon impression where like it has like a cool version of fire breathing where instead of getting +1/+0 and just buffing the power, it gets power and toughness. So like if you have some way of just like making insane amounts of black mana, you can just like kill people out of nowhere with it. So like
I didn't actually think of that.
Yeah. So like as well as it being able to get Death Touch or Lifelink, I mean usually your preference is Lifelink unless someone's blocking it and you don't have enough mana to make this big enough to not die. Just being able to kill the other creature for 1 black mana is pretty good. But like there's just like fun ways to make black mana, like rituals and stuff in black where you can just get a ton of black. So like specifically just to get the conversation started, it's like Dark Ritual, for instance, 1 black instant, you get 3 black mana. That just gives this like lifelink, Death Touch, or if you just want it to get bigger, 3 +1/+1 counters. Not counters, gives it +3/+3. But yeah, no, I think this is just like a neat.
Now that you put it like that,
it is just commander damage, but it's like a neat way of going around it. Where people should be really scared of your open mana if they're being attacked.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, moving on to Whiplash, Vengeful Engineer, 1 black for a 2/2 human artificer villain. Whiplash enters tapped whenever Whiplash attacks. If he's equipped, each opponent loses X life and you gain X life, where X is the number of equipment attached to him. Neat
More
take
equipment.
on a Voltron commander deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. Just Voltron, but equally trades amongst everyone. It's a 1-drop. It's fine that he enters tapped. Like realistically, even if you have boots or some way of giving him haste, he's a 1-drop. So he's probably coming down turn 1.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no. You gaining life as well as people losing life is amazing. I think this card is a fun take on equipment deck.
Yes.
Mono black equipment seems like it's going to be a fun.
It's going to be a thing
play.
apparently.
Yeah. And then we have White Widow.
Yelena.
Yelena. Belova.
Yelena Belova. Yeah.
Yeah. 1 and a black for a 1/2 human assassin villain with Death Touch. Whenever a creature you control with Death Touch deals combat damage to a player, put a 1/1 counter on it. Death Touch creatures get big. It seems just like a cool card. It's not like fantastic, like, this breaks things, but no, it's just like, I have a lot of Death Touch creatures. It goes well in the command zone if you want to build a Death Touch deck, and it goes well in the deck of in the 99 of a Death Touch deck.
Yeah.
We should also mention this is from Jumpstart as well. And we've made it through. That is all of the cards that we're covering in this episode. So, like we said before, we're ending with black. If you want to check out any of the commanders that we have covered in this video, and will cover in future videos, such as part 2 and 3, and part 2 where we'll be covering red and green, we will put a link to our Archidekt page in the description below.
Also, we'd love to hear from you, the viewer. If you have any ideas for what you would want to see from our channel moving forward, and ways we can improve, please let us know down below.
Thanks for watching. Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.